lack of putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Conspiracy theorist and performance artist Alex Jones was recently at LAX, and he ran into Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Now, he then proceeded to film himself yelling at Bernie Sanders like a crazy person, and he posted that video to the internet, and in a tweet linking to that video, he states, "The king of communism, Bernie Sanders, literally ran from us." Now, when you watch the video, you'll see that Bernie Sanders didn't literally run away from Alex Jones. He just did what a reasonable person would do in that situation when a deranged lunatic with a camera comes up to them and yells at them. He just tried to ignore Alex Jones, and I think Bernie Sanders did an effective job at doing that. So I'm going to show you the video, but first, I need you to know what type of person we're dealing with here, because when Alex Jones isn't selling his viewers lead-tainted products, he's peddling nonsensical conspiracy theories like Pizzagate, or that Sandy Hook was a hoax, or he'll bring on guests that will say shit like this.
And this may strike your listeners as way out, but we actually believe that there is a colony on Mars that is populated by children who were kidnapped and sent into space on a 20-year ride. So that once they get to Mars, they have no alternative but to be slaves on the Mars colony.
Now, a personal favorite of mine is his theory about human fish people. And yes, you heard me correctly, I said human fish people.
I was told by a genetic engineer about a project they were on in England once, and I never told the story on air because it's so fantastical. Oh, God. They had in tanks people with gills, and they're little babies, and they were in there just gulping, clawing at the sides. You see a turtle at the zoo, and it wants out, and you feel for it. They got humanoids crossed with fish and stuff. I mean, we are screwed, people. I mean, do you understand that?
So that's the level of stupidity that we're dealing with here. Now, I'm going to play you the clip of him harassing Bernie Sanders at LAX, and as you watch this, try to keep track of all the accusations he lobs at Bernie Sanders in the process.
Oh, they didn't know Bernie Sanders.
Dude, no, come on, not right now. No, Senator. This is
Why'd you say white people didn't know what it was like before? Let me guess, you guys aren't flying first class, are you? Why is he running? Anyways, you guys flying first class, you shouldn't be.
I got a coach ticket in my pocket.
They don't do that in Venezuela. Bernie, why are you running, bro? There we go. Karl Rove didn't run like this. He at least talked to me.
I'll talk to you. You want to have a conversation?
Well, he said white people don't know what it's like to be poor. This is why people are poor.
Why? Because you're following what?
He said white people don't know what it's like to be poor. I thought it was a really racist thing to say.
When you're white, you don't know what it's like to be living in a ghetto. You don't know what it's like to be poor. You don't know what it's like to be hassled when you walk down the street or you get dragged out of a car.
You guys are so afraid of stuff. Wow, Bernie Sanders runs from Alex Jones. There you go. Already got it now.
Don't worry. Get my beautiful face on camera.
Don't worry, we'll destroy America. We'll turn it into Venezuela. Don't worry. Sanders is over here. Look right there. Bernie, why'd you say white people don't know what it's like before?
Don't touch me, Alex. Don't touch me.
Ooh.
Don't touch me, Alex.
Well, you guys have fun. Gotta be around the general public, huh? It's kind of a bad thing. You're on the proletariat like that when you're a ruling class commie, huh?
The truth is, the left is the most vicious, evil ideology the planet's ever seen. It's a historical fact. But they always lecture us how we're violent, we're bad. They're the ones that want to abort all the babies. They're the ones that wanted to block Trump being able to have all the experimental cures and treatments given to people that were terminal. They're the people that love the culture of death, just like Bernie supported Black Lives Matter. Just like he wouldn't decry the cop killers when they killed cops. That's the type of monster, cold-blooded person that Sanders is. He wants to overthrow this country via conquest. Bernie Sanders is a monster.
Mr. Sanders, why do you think socialism works better than capitalism, and why do you live in a capitalist country? I don't know why you're running from me. Where are you flying today?
You gonna apologize to the Sandy Hook families, Alex?
Well, that's the media misrepresents that. That's that. You apologize for all the wars you guys launched, the Democrats? All the millions you killed?
Do you enjoy living in your $1 million vacation houses, Bernie, or do you want to give those to the foreigner?
Yeah, your $100,000 Audis. Move to Venezuela, Bernie. You'll like it. People like you there.
So over and over again, they want to change the subject from communism and socialism, destroying hundreds of countries and killing over 200 million people. They want to change the subject to myself and others asking questions about big public events that are used to blame the Second Amendment. This is incredible. But as long as they can't guilt you into their mind control, they fail. They are sociopaths and psychopaths. Leftists and globalists are there to manipulate those of us that have feelings. So again, ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Sanders checked off the bucket list, running like a cowardly rat into a sewer away from serious questions.
Wow, so I really don't know where to begin, and in fact, the clip itself was a lot longer than that. I had to cut it down for time, so I'll link to the full clip in the description box. But, I mean, he basically threw whatever he could at Bernie Sanders, at the wall, in hopes that it would stick. And what I love is that Bernie Sanders' aide asked if he was going to apologize to the families of Sandy Hook. And what was Alex Jones' response? Oh, that's the media trying to misrepresent me. Oh, okay, so you care about the media misrepresenting you as you go on to not just misrepresent, but brazenly lie about Bernie Sanders and his record. Interesting how that works. So when it's a misrepresentation against Alex Jones, that's unethical, it's immoral, but when it's against Bernie Sanders, someone he doesn't like, because he doesn't know what socialism or communism is, well, that's acceptable. And it wasn't a misrepresentation by the media. He literally called the children of Sandy Hook crisis actors. So he's a liar. But let's get to what he says about Bernie Sanders. You gonna apologize for all the wars you guys launch, the Democrats? Alex, you're a Republican. There's never been a war the Republican Party didn't like. Prior to Trump, the last administration got us involved with Iraq and Afghanistan, and we're still there. So it's not that Democrats are anti-war, it's that they always go along with wars that Republicans try to start. You have a president who you support, mind you, that has John Bolton as his national security advisor and Mike Pompeo as his Secretary of State. The president who you support is currently bombing 8 different countries right now. And he doesn't even realize the irony in saying this to Bernie Sanders because he is one of the few politicians in this country that has remained consistently anti-war. So if you truly care about anti-war, you need to stop supporting Republicans immediately because they are the pro-war party. They are the party of death and destruction. But let's go to what else he says about Bernie Sanders. He stated that Bernie Sanders wants to destroy America and turn it into Venezuela. No, he wants to fix America and turn it into Scandinavia. He accused Bernie Sanders of being racist against whites. We'll get to that in a minute. He says the left is the most vicious, evil ideology the planet's ever seen. It's a historical fact. Now, I'd ask you for a citation on that, Alex, but I don't think you can really measure that in a manner that's not subjective, so he just said a platitude that really is meaningless. He accused Bernie Sanders and the left of wanting to, quote, abort all the babies. You guessed it, that's exactly what the left wants to do, Alex. We want to abort all the babies. He says Bernie Sanders and the left support a culture of death, which is why he supported Black Lives Matter, which, I mean, Alex maybe doesn't realize this, but Black Lives Matter is a movement against death. They want the police to stop targeting people of color in this country. And he also states that Bernie Sanders wouldn't decry cop killers when they killed cops, but Bernie actually did. He called the Dallas attack on police officers horrifying and despicable. He called Bernie Sanders a monster and said he wants to overthrow this country via conquest. But if that were true, why would Bernie Sanders currently be gearing up to run for president? Wouldn't he be building a militia to overthrow Donald Trump? He's not doing that. So, I mean, Alex Jones is saying all these things that are not just nonsensical, but they mean nothing. They have absolutely no substance whatsoever. He probably ran into Bernie Sanders, was unprepared, but knew that he had to target Bernie, so he decided to just say, whatever, you're a monster, you're a socialist, you're a commie. I mean, this is a deranged lunatic. And he also states that Bernie Sanders is a ruling class commie, this is what he called Bernie, who didn't want to be around a proletariat like Alex Jones. But that's funny, Bernie Sanders is the ruling class commie, and Alex Jones is supposedly the proletariat. Alex Jones is portraying himself as the peasant here, but when you look at net worth, Bernie Sanders is worth around $800,000, whereas Alex Jones is worth $10 million. But please, Alex, continue to pretend as though you're one of the peasants like us. Now, I also love how he, clearly, in this clip, doesn't know what the fuck socialism or communism is, and what Bernie Sanders should have done is ask Alex Jones, hey Alex, why don't you define socialism and communism? That would have been funny to watch, because, you know, he would have no idea, because he throws those terms around so much, but he clearly doesn't know what they are. Bernie Sanders is not a socialist or a communist. Bernie Sanders is a social democrat, which is one of the most common political ideologies worldwide. Most parties, most countries rather, have political parties that are social democratic parties. So to call Bernie Sanders a socialist and equate his ideology, which is very moderate, with communism, it's absolutely insane, and it shows that Alex Jones is not just crazy, but he's also very ignorant about political terms that he should know, since he is a political commentator. Now, I do want to get to his criticism of Bernie Sanders' quote, where Bernie Sanders said, white people don't know what it's like to be poor. So obviously, Bernie Sanders knows that white people are aware of what it's like to be poor. But if you go back to the context of the debate, Bernie Sanders was asked about racial blind spots he has, and he clearly misspoke. In fact, Bernie Sanders tried to clarify his remarks afterwards and said, quote, what I meant by that is I think that many white people are not aware of the kinds of pressures and the kind of police oppression that sometimes takes place within the African American community. So if you isolate that comment from Bernie Sanders and take it at face value, of course it's not true. But the fact is that Bernie Sanders obviously misspoke, because he knows that white people are poor too. Bernie Sanders talks about poverty more so than any other politician in the country. But what Bernie Sanders was trying to do is disaggregate economic issues from issues related to race and justice in the United States. But that's a little bit too nuanced for someone like Alex Jones, who is, again, just a lunatic. So overall, what Alex Jones tried to do was frame Bernie as a coward in this situation, because Bernie Sanders, quote, ran away from Alex Jones. But the truth is that Bernie Sanders just didn't want to deal with Alex Jones's bullshit. Now, Alex, put yourself in Bernie Sanders' position. How would you respond if someone who's clearly unstable came up to you and wouldn't leave you alone, they wouldn't go away when you clearly are giving them social cues that you don't want to be associated with them? Well, actually, we know exactly how Alex Jones would react in that situation, because one of his loony fans actually approached him during a live stream, and can you guess what Alex Jones did? He ran away from his own fan in the same way that Bernie Sanders, quote, ran away from him.
But that's a mark of complacency where you...
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good, man.
Big listener.
God bless you.
By the way, I just want to let you know, I own InfoWarsMusic.com.
That's awesome. Did you see us online? Just come in there.
I saw you on Facebook Live. Yeah, I'm the Spider-Man guy on 6th Street.
Oh, great job, brother.
Have you heard about me?
I have.
Okay, I went into the you know, with Sybil Edmonds, protesting the Muslim thing, taxpayer funding of the schools, and I went there with my costume and my Trump shirt in the Capitol, and it's on YouTube.
I saw it. It's viral. I'm going to scram, but I'm going to get your drink. Boom.
Thanks.
I got to go right now.
Hey, I want to set up InfoWarsMusic.com. That's why I moved to Austin, Texas. Can you help me do it?
Rob D. R.
OBD.
I've been talking
OBD.
At Infowars.com.
Say it again.
ROBD at Infowars.com.
I ran to some lady. She's like, I met your InfoWars guy.
ROBD at Infowars.com.
God bless. We got to split this.
Thank you.
If the word's out, more people are
I'm telling
coming.
you want more funding for your show? Google can't censor a song that sells 1 million copies. And I got 50 artists that already sell their songs on InfoWarsMusic.com to help fund your show.
I'm ready, brother.
You ready?
Yeah,
How do I contact you?
Rob D. R. D.
At InfoWars.com.
Rob Do. R. Do. Hey, Rob, let's go.
rdo@infowars.com.
Yep, let's go, guys.
I love me. Can I take a picture of yourself?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Wait. Hold on. Yes. I'm a huge fan. You have no idea.
God bless you. No, you're awesome. My security guys, we trust you. Like, get out of there. Get out of there. It's like,
By the way, you know about the RH...
flamethrowers.
Hey, you know about the RH negative blood types, right? I'm the king of all the RH negative blood types on planet Earth. I'm sorry.
I love it. All right, God bless you.
One more. I don't think I got it. Hold on.
God bless you, brother.
rdo@infowars.com.
Yes, sir. Rob D.
Rob D. See you later.
Rob D. Thank you.
Yep.
Gay.
So, what happened, Alex? Why'd you run away from your fan? I mean, that's your own fan. It's almost as if when a belligerent, bumbling, incoherent buffoon approaches you, the best thing to do is ignore them and try to flee the situation. That's what you did. So what you did to your own fan is what Bernie Sanders did to you, because clearly you're not a stable, well-adjusted adult human being. You're a lunatic, you're a conspiracy theorist, and nobody who actually is important in this country takes what you have to say seriously.
I just want to finish by saying your reputation's amazing. I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope.
Oh, that's right. The president does. We're in big trouble as a country.
Gay.
Support this podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Report.